Freaking Vivitar, what did you do to my babies? What's up, everybody? My name is Pi, editor-in-chief for srlounge.com, and today we're going to be doing a rapid gear review on the Vivitar 285HV manual flash. Now, this gigantic freak of a manual flash was first released by Vivitar in the early 70s, so they kind of are the epitome of what you would say old school. But these ugly monsters, they were once heralded as the best manual workhorse strobe that you could find. They were tough, they were durable, they could withstand anything, and probably even a nuclear blast. These things are just monsters. But not to mention the fact that they were also cheap. Now, fast forward to today, portable off-camera flash photography has become incredibly popular, not only among professionals, but also among amateur photographers as well. So, cheap off-camera manual flashes, they're heavily in demand, and seeing this, Vivitar did a reissue of the 285HV, hoping to capture the market. Now, some sources say that Vivitar actually sold the rights to these flashes to another company who's producing them. However, this is something that we're really unable to verify. All the logos, all the documentation from the box itself, including the actual manual, the warranty information, everything is still listed under Vivitar. So we don't know actually if it's some other company doing the reissue. But we do know that with the new reissue, production has been moved to China, and quality control on these devices is an absolute disaster. Just over a year ago, we purchased 12 of these units, 4 for each Justin, Chris, and myself, and since then we've already sent 8 of them back for repair, and we're not doing anything too crazy with them. Justin and Chris, they were so frustrated with the units that they gave all their units actually to me, and they went back using their old Nikon speedlights. And that proved to be far more reliable, although they are quite a bit more expensive, which kind of sucks because they are old, used flashes. The Nikon SB80s, they can cost between 150 to 200 bucks. Given that I don't really mind on-site troubleshooting, and since I have so many of these flashes now, I still use the Vivitars on my shoots. I simply take 2 to 3 backups just in case they break. So on the point of reliability, when you do have issues, we're kind of required to get in touch with Vivitar, and that's a whole other issue entirely. Getting a hold of Vivitar and actually getting these units replaced is challenging to say the least, and it's extremely time consuming. It took us around 4 to 6 weeks to get new replacement flashes after getting a hold of Vivitar and sending in the old broken units. So, flaky reliability, flaky customer support, that's 2 major cons. But let's talk about the actual functionality of the unit itself when it is indeed working. The flash unit itself only has 4 power settings, and that's kind of a major drawback. We have full power, 1/2 power, 1/4 power, and then 1/16 power. They skip over 1/8 power. I don't know why. Now, this makes it quite a bit more cumbersome when you need additional power options because you have to take neutral density gels just to get to those, say, lower power settings. For example, if you need to get to, say, 1/32 or 1/64 power, you're going to need a 1-stop or a 2-stop neutral density gel, which is why I have copious amounts of Velcro over the top of this, because I always have to gel it. In addition, for those that need to run, say, 1/32 or 1/64 power in order to have quicker flash durations for, say, high-speed liquid photography, well, you're going to need to look elsewhere because you're always going to be limited to 1/16 power flash durations. In addition, the full power flash-to-flash recycle time is incredibly long when compared to modern flashes. For this unit, we're talking 7 to 10 seconds at best between full power flashes until it fully recycles, depending of course on the type of battery used. Once recycled, the LED indicator on the back, it kind of lights up with this interesting kind of back and forth blink, and I don't know why, but the unit itself has a very high-pitched recycle sound that sort of beeps back and forth with the LED indicator. It's quite actually audible, and it can be fairly annoying if you have, say, 5 or 6 of these set up on a set. Maybe you can hear it if I hold it close to my chest like this. Yes? No? I don't know. Also, it's worth noting that the flash head itself is significantly oversized when compared to, say, a modern flash. So most of your lighting modifiers, if they're designed to fit a standard Canon or Nikon flash unit, they're not going to fit over this. And this can also present other issues when using, say, other third-party lighting modifiers. For example, we recently got the ProPhoto RFI speed ring and softbox kit, and with those, it's designed to basically fit 2 flashes through the speed ring adapter. But with these, 2 flashes doesn't quite fit. Next, when it comes to the controls, everything about this flash is manual, and that's kind of the point. You want a manual flash because they're reliable, things don't break, but everything about the manual functionality of this one does scream 1970s. The power control is this manual dial that we went over, and it clicks into place, which doesn't have a bad feel to it, but it is a little bit difficult to read the settings through this little tiny hole on the side. Our zoom is controlled with this lovely head that makes this awesomely great sounding, actually not really great sounding sound. But honestly, you don't buy this flash because of its looks or its sexy dials. You buy it because it's cheap, it's simple, and it's not going to break, or at least it wasn't supposed to break. Now, to sync this up to your radio trigger, you're going to need to buy an additional sync cord because it isn't included with the flash. The Vivitar uses this old school PC31 sync cord, which is actually really sharp. It's like straight up like a needle. So be careful. And once it's been inserted into the Vivitar, they're incredibly difficult to remove, as you can see here. We have to pull really hard on it, and once they're inserted, we just basically leave the cord in. So this is what it looks like. You can see it's quite sharp. You can stab yourself very easily to it. So we generally just leave the cord attached to the Vivitar, just wrap it around it because it's too difficult to remove constantly. And now you can hear it recycling. Now, regarding the build quality, the entire unit itself is made of hard plastic, including the hard shoe. And this makes the hard shoe a bit prone to breaking when compared to, say, a metal hot shoe flash. Also, I highly recommend that when you are moving the flash from location to location, because of the plastic hot shoe, break it down, take it off the stand, because if you leave it on the stand while you're moving the stand around, there's a good chance it's going to bust the feet off, and that makes it so you can't mount it. Although you can get replacement shoes for it. So in conclusion, it's really difficult to give the Vivitar 285HV anything better than 2 stars. It's not super reliable. We don't have great customer service. They don't offer a lot of flexibility in controlling flash power, and it's a slow full power recycle. Really, the only redeeming quality to this flash is the overall price. New, you get this at around 80 bucks, and so they're very inexpensive manual flashes, and it's a great option when they are indeed working. And when they do work, they work pretty well. We had incredibly high hopes for this flash and for Vivitar's reissue. Unfortunately, they didn't hold up. In addition, we tested tons of other inexpensive manual flashes, including Yongnuo and other Chinese-made. If I pronounce that funny, it's because I speak Chinese, and that's the way it's pronounced, Yongnuo. All right, made manual flashes. So we've tried all of these, and they've all left us quite unsatisfied at this time. So right now, we still don't really have a recommendation as far as a cheap, old school manual flash. We're still using Nikon's, but again, they're getting increasingly difficult to find and quite expensive. An old speedlight, we're typically getting them in decent condition for around 100 to 200 bucks. For like the SB80, we're around 150 to 200, so they're quite expensive. So if you have a recommendation on an inexpensive sub $100 flash that you think is reliable, let us know. We'll put it through its paces. We'll tell you what we think. To get more information on all the products that we discussed in this video, links and so forth, please check out the article by clicking in the description below or going to srlounge.com. My name is Pi, and I'll see you all in the next video.